Hello everybody, welcome to Speak Votomi. Thank you so much for joining me. If it's your first time here, you are absolutely welcome. Once again, this is a place and platform where we are chatting all things alive. So today's video, I wanted to do a part 2 of the burnout video that I did before, and also how you can help somebody in your world who might be struggling. So without further ado, I just want to remind you to continue liking, sharing, and subscribing so that you do not miss out on any of the amazing content that is to come. And if you're just new here, just make sure that you catch up on all the other content as well. And yeah, with that being said, Speak Votomi, let's go. I wanted to chat about briefly what the difference is between burnout and stress. Stress is known as it's a feeling or emotion of physical tension, and it may come, from time to time and make you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. So the first difference is in the definition itself. So burnout is as a result of prolonged stress, but stress itself is a feeling of, tension, which can make you feel frustrated, it can make you feel nervous, or it can make you feel angry as well. I'm going to chat about how you can pick up burnout in terms of noticing the symptoms in other people, and how you can ensure that you lend a helping hand to somebody who might be experiencing a burnout. So the first, in terms of how, to pick up burnout in others, one would need to notice a behavioral symptom. So these behavioral symptoms are, for instance, withdrawal. So withdrawing from responsibilities. So this is somebody who is often put together, does what they meant to do, and all of a sudden they are not wanting to do these tasks that they are meant to do. So that is an indication of a burnout. And another one is isolation from others, especially when the person is a people's person, or even if they're not a people's person, but they have people around them in which they generally enjoy their company. That is one of the ways in which you can pick it up as well. And another way, which is more obvious if you look at those signs, is when someone starts to use alcohol or other drugs to ensure that they are coping with all the pressure that they are experiencing. So if you notice that somebody starts to be more reliant on maybe sleeping tablets, or more reliant on alcohol as a form of a coping mechanism, then you might want to maybe sit down with them and have a conversation, or try and get them the help that they need before this becomes an even bigger problem. Another thing in which you can notice burnout in other people, I am by no means telling you to diagnose people, but it is good to to look out for these signs, to notice that people might not be in their best mental space. If somebody is constantly taking out their frustration on others, especially in situations that previously they might have taken lightly, or found as a joke, and now you realize that even the smallest situation is being blown out of proportion. So that is another symptom that you can look out for. And another one, which is the last one that I'm going to be speaking about, is person who is trying to leave work early, often not at school, skipping classes, and so forth. If that is a change in how they normally do things, that is something that you might want to take note of. How do you help somebody who might be struggling in burnout? In my previous video, I spoke about the things that you can do primarily for yourself, and now I'm going to be speaking about how you can lend a helping hand to somebody who might be struggling with burnout. burnout, the first thing is to listen. Listening, as simple as it sounds, a lot of people have not exactly mastered how it should be done. And by listening, I mean not listening to respond, but listening to understand. And if by the least you cannot understand, listen to at least see things the way that they see them. So this would regard you to put aside your own prejudices, your own thoughts and patterns, or the way that what you would do if you were in their shoes, but it's rather about making sure that you lend an ear to what they are actually going through. Another thing that you can do to ensure that you lend a helping hand to somebody who might be struggling with burnout is to ensure that you validate what they are feeling. After listening, make sure you validate what they are feeling. You may not agree, but at no point in time should you make someone feel as though what they are feeling is invalid. Comments like there are other people going through worse, you need to be stronger, and so forth, those certain comments make what somebody is going through seem as though it is invalid. So that is not something that you want to do. Validate them and make sure that they know that what they're going through is not only okay, but they can get help for it. And the third thing is to offer specific help. Now I'm going to speak directly to my Christian family just for a few moments, because sometimes this phrase, I'll pray for you, is not exactly helpful. Number one, because I don't know, I'm going to speak about myself now. I have used that phrase in times where I haven't exactly, acted it out. And number two, I think we often use that statement to shift the responsibility and not look inward as to what we can active and physically do to help the next person. Don't get me wrong, I thoroughly believe in prayer, and I know that it works and I've seen it work and I live by it. But there are certain instances where, yes, the praying needs to be done, but after the praying, you can actually offer, help there and then. So instead of someone comes to you and tells you that they are swamped with responsibility and the kids at home and this and this, maybe offer to say, okay, on Tuesday night I have a free day, I knock off work earlier on and I can cook dinner for both my family as well as your family. There you are actually you are offering specific help, and that is something less that they would need to worry about in terms of the week. So yes, definitely the whole prayer thing, it does work. I thoroughly believe in that, but make sure that you do not use that phrase as a way to shift off responsibility so that you don't have to do anything about it, especially if this is somebody close to you and somebody that you love. Make sure that you offer specific help, especially when you're in a space to do so. And then the next thing, which is number 4, kind gestures go a long way. Make sure that those around you know that you are thinking about them, and make sure that you are as kind as possible, whether it be just a smile or whether it be just being mindful, or if you're in a family and you can see that your mother or your father is being stressed out, offer to wash the dishes or do something that they would have to do themselves. Just be kind, whether it means when they come back from home, you take off their shoes and you put slippers on. Those things really do go a long way. Or a friend that you haven't seen in a while because we can't, meet up and be together as we normally would. Buying flowers and letting them know that you're thinking of them really will go a long way. And number 5, make sure that the people around you know that you appreciate them. Make sure that you make appreciating others a habit, saying thank you, thanking them for the role that they play in your life, so that they do not find themselves in a space where they continue feeling as though they are toiling and they are, not seeing the fruit of their labor. So make sure those around you feel that they are appreciated. This means even when you go into a restaurant, make sure you say the simple things like please and thank you. Make people feel seen and know that they are appreciated. yeah, that goes for everyone in our circle, those that we live with, those that we love, especially those that are doing roles that they are supposed to do, parents supposed to be parenting their children, and so forth. Make sure that people in those roles know that they are appreciated. Once again, it really does go a long way. And I want to close off this video by reminding every one of you that Jesus paid it all so that you do not have to. So once again, carrying the world on your shoulders is not something that should be your portion. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until the next one, I am wishing you an incredible week ahead. Love you lots. Stay blessed. Mwah.